What's going on, Lake fans? I appreciate you guys tuning in. Ass kicking tonight. Rockets absolutely demolished the Los Angeles Lakers. 135 to 119, the final score. Got a lot of stuff to get into. Whatever momentum that you thought the Lakers had after that win against the Golden State Warriors, why'd you go ahead and wipe that over to the side? That's done with. That's over with. Lakers don't play a lick of defense. Decide to play LeBron 37 minutes in a complete blowout. There's a head scratcher there. Don't know what to tell you. Anthony Davis doesn't look like Anthony Davis as far as health goes. And the Lakers got another game coming up tomorrow against the Atlanta Hawks. We got a lot to get into tonight. There's a lot of kind of some small nuances, I would say, to the game that I found interesting. A lot of small things that I guess what's the best way for me to put this? Wasn't really expecting. I wasn't expecting Lakers to be down by 30. I was expecting Dylan Brooks to be an asshole, like we all know that he is, but I wasn't expecting the Lakers to fall for him being an a-hole because that's exactly his style of play. And some other things that I thought were just kind of unique in this game. I know I got some people saying, hey, Slee, why don't you go ahead and just bring out that bourbon that you had on Saturday? Have another one of those. What did I have? I think it was Knob Creek, or was it? I think it was Knob Creek. Have another one of those. Slee, we're going to need a 40 ounce of bourbon, iced and neat. You might be right about that, but it's Monday. I don't think I'm taking down a large bourbon or anything along those lines. I do appreciate, even though the Lakers got ran tonight, I appreciate you guys joining the show. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed. Shout out here to Underdog Fantasy, a proud partner of the show here, the post-game show here. So I appreciate everybody doing that. Okay, here's my first question to Laker fans out there as we start to break things down. Is being tired an excuse? Because I feel like the Lakers are really, really good lately of just having excuses. And the excuse could be anything. The excuse could be the minutes. The excuse could be the rotations. The excuse could be injuries and missing some of your role players. The excuse can be, we just played a game against the Golden State Warriors. Then we had to fly out here on Sunday. They got a lot of excuses. Excuses are lining up. I know that. But if anybody thought the Lakers tonight looked tired, maybe that's the case. They played a double overtime game against the Golden State Warriors. Probably shouldn't have gone 10 extra minutes, but they did. And they pulled out a 1-point win. Could have easily lost that game after Steph hit that three, but give Lakers credit. LeBron got to the basket, hits 2 free throws. Well, did that game affect him in this game? Because I know to start out the game, Houston scored 42 points on the Lakers in the first quarter. 42 points. And it was like it was just a complete blitz in the last 2-3 minutes. And excuse me, I don't know that much about Cam Whitmore. I know the dude is a rookie. I know he was the 20th pick. I know that he demolished the Lakers over a stretch where I felt like, is this Clyde Drexler or is this Cam Whitmore? Is this dude a top 5 player in the NBA or is it Cam Whitmore? Maybe I don't know enough about Cam Whitmore. They dropped 42 on the Lakers in the first quarter. They had 78 points in the first half. Let me say that again. The Houston Rockets dropped 42 on the Lakers and 36 in the second quarter. They had 78 in the first half against the Lakers. I want to look at my pregame notes here because when I was doing the pregame show on radio, it was one of the things that I was talking about, and it had nothing to do with their offense. The only thing that I was trying to say was, hey, they're a good defensive team. They're a top 10 defensive team in the NBA. Ime Udoka was going to bring out the best of these guys. They have an identity, their toughness. Watch out for this game because the Rockets are not going to be a layover. Forget their 21-24 record. Defensive in the NBA, they're number 8. Offensive, they're number 21. They scored 78 points against the Lakers in that first half. By the way, if my phone buzzes, it's just far enough. Turn this bad boy off here. 78 points in the first half, and they're not even an offensive team. They're literally not an offensive team. That's not what they're known for. That's not what they do great. And the reason why I put that on there is being tired an excuse. I feel like that was an excuse for the Lakers tonight. I thought they just got their asses kicked. I thought they came out like they always do, didn't look prepared. That starting five, at times looked completely lost. Austin Reeves was a complete no-show tonight. D'Lo put up some points, but he took 19 shots to get 23 points. Anthony Davis, I'll talk about a little bit. He doesn't look 100% healthy. He put up 20. He had 20 shots to get 23 points. So nobody was really efficient for the Lakers on offense, but it wasn't about the offense. Forget the offense for a second. Jalen Green gave them 34, 12, and 7. Şengün gave them 31, 12, and 7. So you have a 34, 12, and 7, a 31, 12, and 7. And that's not even counting Dylan Brooks and Dylan Brooks had 17. Jamari Smith Jr. had 18. You had other guys contributing as well. They had in total 5 guys in double figures, 2 of those dudes with 30 plus. They completely dominated the Lakers. And if you ever thought this was a game at the end, you are 1,000% fooling yourself if you thought the Lakers were actually going to come back and win this game. Let that be my next point that I'm going to get into. Maybe there's a theory of why the Lakers were doing this, but did anybody think? I know the Lakers made it sort of interesting there in the fourth quarter. They were down 30 and got it all the way down to 10. I get it. Runs happen in the NBA. Byron Scott actually on the broadcast on Spectrum had such a good quote. He said it was from Larry Bird. I'm probably going to butcher it, but he said something to the effect of, when you're down by a lot and you're coming back, I forget the exact quote, but basically what he's saying is like, you're going to lose anyways, so why the hell are your key players in there? I think that was the point that he was trying to make. Did anybody think that when LeBron and Rui and whoever that was, D'Lo, I think Reeves, whatever that 5 that was in there towards the end, did anybody think the Lakers were going to come back and win that game? I'm not saying were they going to come back and make it a game. I'm talking about, did you ever think the Lakers were actually going to come back and make it a game? Of course they weren't going to come back and win that game. I don't think anybody, you're just down by too much. If you're down 25 and you go on a 15-0 run, you're still down double digits. And that wasn't the exact, run that the Lakers went on. Maybe it was 25-10 or whatever it was, but they knocked off a good 15 points. And you look at the clock and you're like, wow, there's still 5 minutes left to go. But really all Houston needed to do was hit a bucket or 2 and the game was a wrap. The game was over. Instead, you make LeBron play 37 minutes. What the hell is the point of having LeBron play 37 minutes in a game that's already a blowout? The game is already decided. Why is he playing 37 minutes? And then to add insult to injury, of course they lose that game. And you got a game tomorrow against the Atlanta Hawks. I just don't get it. I'll read a couple quotes here. Let me find the quote from Darvin Ham. I think Darvin was saying something to the effect. Let me see if it's here. He was saying something to the effect that the Lakers were on a run. You never kind of want to give up. And I get that, but that doesn't mean you can't be smart. I don't think that was a very smart move. I don't think it was smart for the Lakers to have Bron in there towards the end of that game. For what? Like I said, if you're down 30, if it's a 10-point game and you're starting the fourth quarter, I get it. But it's not. You're getting your asses kicked. And you're going to go – it was actually better off for the Lakers to end up losing this game by 30 than to lose by 16 or whatever they lost by. I'd rather them lose by 40 than cut this deficit all the way down to 10, so then LeBron plays 37 minutes. I wish we were sitting here and we were talking about LeBron playing 25 minutes and the Lakers lost by 40. I would rather have that. What's the point of using the any fuel left in the tank? You got a game tomorrow against the Atlanta Hawks. And Atlanta, by the way, one of the best offenses in the NBA. They don't play a lick of defense, but they could put points up, which means the ball's going to be moving, which means it's going to be up and down pace of basketball. That obviously is not going to benefit the Lakers going up against a team in Atlanta who wants to run. I just don't get it. I really don't understand it. I do blame that on Darvin Ham. And if that's one of those, well, hey, I can't take LeBron out because LeBron James is going to make his own decisions. Well, then that's on LeBron. That's a poor decision. It's not smart. It's just not smart. And then, I saw people hit me back on Twitter because I put something like that up there, and people were responding something to the effect of, yeah, but that means he's probably not playing tomorrow. All right. His exact quote, Brad Turner, I think, had asked the question of if he's going to go tomorrow. And LeBron said he plans on playing tomorrow. So LeBron James says this is from Dave McMenamin, says he plans on playing the second night of the Lakers back to back tomorrow in Atlanta. Anthony Davis said his hip injury limited him tonight. Can't read. And he would make his determination to play on Tuesday before the Hawks game. So, and I'm going to get into Anthony Davis in just a second, but so just so I understand this perfectly, because I thought, all right, well, if he's playing the 37 minutes, he's clearly not going to play against the Atlanta Hawks. I'm just going to assume that. No, he played 37 minutes for no reason in a complete blowout against the Houston Rockets on the road. Coming from the game, he played 48 minutes on Saturday against the Golden State Warriors in double overtime. Plays 37 tonight. Lakers got another game tomorrow. What kind of time management is that for the Lakers? That sounds, honestly, it sounds idiotic to me, but what the hell do I know? Okay, a couple more things I want to get into, and I'll start looking at your guys' comments here. I know we got a lot there I haven't looked into. AD's health is a concern, period. How can it not be? Anthony Davis, there were at times tonight you could tell he looked like he was favoring something. You could tell he just didn't look like Anthony Davis. And remember how AD left the floor in that last game. How can AD's health not be a concern? You're in the kind of the grind of the season. You're back to 500 at 24-24. And Anthony Davis, imagine going a stretch where Anthony Davis doesn't play for 2 weeks. How do you think this Lakers team would do? Listen, maybe they do better than I would think. Maybe Rui would step up and Christian Wood would step up and some of that size, and Jackson Hayes would do as best as he can a rim protector, this, that. But I don't believe what I'm saying. So if he was out for 2 weeks, they're already a 500 team with Anthony Davis being one of the top 6, 7, 8 players in the NBA. What if he's not there? Then what are they after that? So his health, a little bit of a concern for me, at least from what I was watching. That didn't look all that great. That certainly seemed like something that was an issue. Okay, let me look at some of your comments. Still got a lot of other stuff I want to get into, but let's take a quick look here. Okay, Robert Shirley. Why is LeBron still out on the floor when the Lakers are down by 30 late in the third on the first of a back-to-back? Darvin has no foresight or brain, just a coach. All right, let me put it this way. I don't know who to blame, but if it's Darvin Ham's decision, not a smart decision. If it's LeBron James' decision, not a smart decision. If it's anybody else's decision, not a smart decision. There's no justification for it. There is literally no justification for it. None. I don't have anything. I can't sit here and tell you. The only thing I could think of is if you're saying you already know 100% that he's not playing tomorrow against the Atlanta Hawks, and LeBron is saying, look, I'm not playing another game until Thursday. Let me do my thing, and I'll be fine, and we'll worry about it on Thursday when the Lakers are, where are they? I think Boston on Thursday. But that wasn't the case. That wasn't the case at all. At all. Awful game. Lakers suck. I wouldn't say Lakers suck. I would tell you Lakers are average. Literally the definition of average. You want to know the definition of average? I'm going to tell you the definition of average. 24-24 through 48 games. 7-7 in the month of January. Byron Scott, again, was mentioning this on Spectrum. He's like, you don't play 48 games and not know who you are. This is who you are. They are an average basketball team. There are times they're going to get lucky. There are times they're going to look good. And there are times they're going to look shitty, like they did tonight. That is the definition of an average basketball team. The 7-7 in the month of January, you guys know this. This was something that we were all kind of promoting. We were all promoting in January that Lakers were in good shape because January was going to be the month Lakers would start doing some damage. Well, they were going to have 11 of 12 games at Crypto.com Arena. So this is where they could really, and 15 games in the month of January. At best now in the month of January, they have to win tomorrow just to be 8-7. I don't think anybody was thinking they're going to be 8-7. I'm sure there's a lot of people that thought, can they go 10-5? Can they go 11-4? Can they go 9-6 at the worst? At best, tomorrow puts them at 8-7. They lose tomorrow, obviously they'll be a game below 500. They'll be at 7-8. So the Lakers don't suck, Dan Inspiration. They are just the definition of average. Definition of average. Let's get to more of these comments here. Absolutely here. Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Lakers show up again. This is the Lakers. This is who they are. And I don't even think, a lot of it as that first quarter was unfolding and, they were down 10 early, they come back and tie the game at 23 or something like that. And then by the time the first quarter is done, they're down 10 or 11. I don't have emotions of surprise anymore. I'm just like, oh yeah, it's the Lakers. Have you guys met the Lakers before? It's like a friend that you have that they're going to be one or the other. They're going to be completely chill, and it's like, hey, no, I just want to kick back there. I don't want to do anything. Or they're going to be a freaking 10, and they're going to be the one that's at the bar that you're like, we got to get this guy out of here because God knows what he's going to do. That's the Lakers. They're going to be one or the other. They can't be in the middle. Just an extreme one way or the other. All right, let me get some more of these here. Darvin Ham said, no more excuses. Well, I see excuses out there. I mean, their effort tonight was, could they be tired? Could be this. Guys, every team's playing 82 games. So I don't got it anymore. Okay, let's see what we got here. Let me see this here. Adam, I used to be here in 2020 when Sliwa used to do fist bumps. You're right, man. I don't do enough of those. The problem is, again, their ass is kicked all the time. I don't even know when to do it. Francis, I appreciate the super. If you got a super out there, thank you for sending it in. I'll definitely read it. Our supporting cast on the bench are not good enough. Besides Rui, we cannot count on them. Also, Slee, which is better, Linsanity or trade deadline D'Lo? Can I say something real quick about the supporting cast or the cast on the bench? Even Rui, I don't know what I'm going to get from Rui. Rui was productive tonight. Rui could very easily not be productive in the next game. I think they got to start taking some risk on Rui and start playing him 30 minutes and see what happens. I mean, you signed the dude to the offseason for a reason. And if that's going to chip away Taurean Prince's minutes, cool, do it. And if Vando wants to take Taurean Prince's minutes, cool, that's fine. But I think there's got to be more times just try it, even if it's Rui and D'Lo and LeBron and Vando and Anthony Davis. Austin Reeves, let me give you an example on Austin Reeves. There's a lot of games where Austin Reeves looks doesn't look all that impressive. I'd like to see Rui get more opportunities and more minutes, but this goes back to my point here. Even the Rui thing it's not like it's working every single night where it's a guaranteed or a lock. It's not. That's not how the Lakers have been. Your second point here, by the way, I'm going to start being superstitious. When they lose, I'm going to change the hat combo. Okay. When they lose, we're going to change the hat. You're superstitious. Also, Slee, which is better, Linsanity or trade deadline D'Lo? All right, let me tell you something. I've been to Madison Square Garden twice in my life. One of those games was Lakers-Knicks, and it's when Jeremy Lin went off. He was in that stretch where he was having those games where he was just incredible, right? He was literally incredible. I think it was coming off, I don't know which game, the Toronto Raptors game where he hits a shot virtually at the buzzer. Maybe that was a game before or after, I can't remember. Linsanity was a real thing. Trade deadline D'Lo, not nearly as impressive as Linsanity. So there's my thoughts on that. I appreciate the super there. Okay, a couple more comments here, and we'll keep going. The Lakers just say a 500 basketball team. Absolutely. Stupid to keep LeBron in. Couldn't agree more. Literally, that's the only way that I can describe it. It was stupid. Let's see what this is. Ham is killing me. How is he still keeping Prince in the starting lineup? He's been trashed for like 2 months, and Rui's just getting ignored. I don't understand how we don't have two bigs play more. Well, it's kind of the point that I was just making. Point I was just making is, Ezekiel, I appreciate the comment there. Point I was just making is you're gonna have to try new stuff, and if trying some of that new stuff is, if the only thing that you don't really know yet is what can we do with a player like Rui, and I think Rui's got to be the one that you try to be the one that you're kind of rolling the dice on, saying, let me give this guy 30 minutes a game and see what happens. All right. Looks like we got people just going at each other here. See what happens? Lakers lose. Everybody starts everybody starts churning on each other. You know what I mean? At least Clippers lost tonight. That's somebody trying to find a positive. You know, you're trying to look at, is the glass half full? Is the glass empty? Half empty. If it's half empty, that means the Lakers lost. If the Clippers lost, then that's somebody saying, "Hey Al, let's get that glass half full." Huh, buddy? Let's get that glass half full. All right, let's see what else we got here. Okay. We really just let the Rockets score 78 points before the half. Unreal. Yep, that's your welcome to your 2023-2024 Los Angeles Lakers. All right, I got another thing I want to talk about here. So, Jared Vanderbilt got thrown out in this game. And Vando's one of those guys I feel like. Let me give you a good example. The game on Saturday. A couple times Vando and Draymond Green felt like they were kind of getting in the mix, but not disrespectfully, just kind of in the I'm going to give all my effort because I'm Jared Vanderbilt. I'm going to give all my effort because I'm Draymond Green. But I felt like there was a mutual respect between those two guys. Vando is a player that very, very, very rarely it looks like somebody doesn't like Jared Vanderbilt, or very rarely does it seem like Vando is trying to get under somebody's skin or he's dirty or he's chirping. No, Vando is kind of the definition of somebody that just shows up to work and says, all right, I'm going to roll up my sleeves. I'm going to go to work, period. That's Jared Vanderbilt. That's why a lot of Laker fans like him. And he's a big reason also why we're watching. If you got some optimism on the Lakers, you're saying to yourself, well, Vando, since he's come in, look what he's been able to do. Hustle plays, finds way to get some tips, tips the ball out for offensive rebounds, grabs offensive rebounds. He's just a hard-nosed defender. I think a lot of people like Vando. And for the first time, I think all season, he looks like he's healthy, getting more comfortable with his offensive game, trying to get to the basket a little bit more when he has opportunities, kind of being a little bit more creative on scoring for the Lakers, a little bit of an offensive punch. He got duped today. He got 100% duped today. First off, Dillon Brooks is a dirty-ass player, but we already know that. We already know that Dillon Brooks is going to try to get under your skin, that he's a piece of you-know-what. Dillon Brooks is one of those players where if he's not on your squad, you're like, you are truly a piece of you-know-what. But we already know that about Dillon Brooks. He had a dirty play. Dillon Brooks had a dirty play where he pushed Jared Vanderbilt while he was in the air, and I think got a flagrant one for doing it, but did not get thrown out. A lot of people were like, what the hell? How did this guy not get thrown out? Anthony Davis said he believed Dillon Brooks should have been ejected when it happened. Let's see the other one. LeBron, when he was asked about Dillon Brooks, said next question, didn't want anything to do with it. So the Lakers obviously felt a certain way about Dillon Brooks for just doing what he does. He hit LeBron kind of out of nowhere. He hit LeBron in the face for no reason. Maybe that's where he got the technical foul. I can't remember where he got it. Long story short, he doesn't get thrown out. Vando, you just got to be smarter. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. We could have our opinion on Jared Vanderbilt, or we could have our opinion on Dillon Brooks. We could say Dillon Brooks is cheap. We could say Dillon Brooks is dirty. We could say all that stuff you want to say about Dillon Brooks. That's fine. But you can't get thrown out and only play 7 minutes in a game where the Lakers need you. Now, at that point, I think the Lakers were still already down, whatever they were down. I don't remember off the top of my head. I'm sure it was double digits when it happened. I'm just guessing here. If he only played 7 minutes, I'm sure it's either happening. I can't remember exactly when it happened, but I almost think it's irrelevant. If you're Vando, you just got to be smarter. If you're Jared Vanderbilt, you got to understand I'm important to the Lakers. The Lakers need me. Um, this is not a game that I could just get myself thrown out for. Yes, Dylan Brooks is dirty. You know what? If you want to find a way during the game and you want to give Dylan Brooks a little bit of an extra elbow or something along those lines, cool. I heard Byron Scott and James Worthy talking about if you're going to do it, get your money's worth. Not just get your money's worth, be more creative. Don't do it out in plain sight. Don't do but he did this to me, and then you hit him on the head. It's like, of course you're going to get thrown out. It's today's NBA. Dylan Brooks is a dirty player, period. You can't let him trick you into getting thrown out. Lakers not having Jared Vanderbilt was a big deal. Are they going to win this game if Vando's there? No, they're probably not going to win this game anyways. Lakers were getting their asses kicked, but that's what Dylan Brooks does. And I was disappointed that he got tricked. That's no other way to put it. He got tricked. By the way, the Dylan Brooks piece of it, I don't know if you guys know Ryan Hollins. So Ryan Hollins is a TV broadcaster for the Houston Rockets. Played 10 years in the NBA. Was a UCLA grad as well. So, and he worked over at 710 ESPN for a little bit of time. We were talking pregame. I had him on, me, myself, Michael Thompson, time pregame, and I asked him, okay, I know Dylan Brooks is this side player, but how important is he to that team? He's like, people don't know Dylan Brooks. He's very important to that team. They like him. They respect him. Can he be an idiot at times? Yeah. Can he be an agitator? Absolutely. And I guess maybe it's one of those things where you say, well, you might not like him, but you want one of those guys on your team. The thing I don't like about Dylan Brooks, I don't mind his game. I kind of like the way he plays the game. I don't like cheap stuff. Don't do the dirty, subtle, cheap stuff. That's the only thing I don't like. And in today's NBA, rarely do you get an opportunity to kind of, give one back to somebody that does something to you. So I thought the Dylan Brooks, Jared Vanderbilt, not a smart play. And obviously cost the Lakers right there. Okay, quick shout out here to our partner, Underdog Fantasy. Thank you very much to Underdog Fantasy. Use that code HoopsLA. I got my picks all ready to go for tomorrow's game. So for those who don't know, Underdog Fantasy, they're going to match your first deposit of up to $100. So if you go on the website right now, you sign up using your email. You've never used the site before. Awesome. Use my code HoopsLA. Use that code HoopsLA. You get up to $100 first deposit match, $100 match first deposit. What does that mean? That means if you put $50 in, they'll match it. You have $100, 50 free money to play with while you put in some of your picks. What I do is I do pick'ems. So if you come here, here's pick'ems. I go to pregame. I go to NBA. And this is the games right now that are already ready for tomorrow. I picked Indiana-Boston because I think that's a fun matchup. Jason Tatum, higher or lower than 29.5 points? I'm going to go higher. Tyrese Halliburton, higher or lower than 20.5 points? I'm going to go higher. That's it. I put my money in. It's $20. I hit play. It says confirm. I got a chance to win 3 times my money if I hit on those 2 picks. That's it. Here are my picks, sharing the entry with you guys. I got Tatum tomorrow. I got Tyrese Halliburton, and I got higher for both of those picks. If you guys have interest in playing, use that code HoopsLA. I obviously get credit for it. And big shout out to Underdog Fantasy for partnering with me. And it's a big help to the channel and helps kind of create the vision that I want. And hopefully you guys use that code if you have interest in daily fantasy sports. Okay, let's get back to some of your guys' comments here. Good old Slee always takes the over. You're probably right on that. A lot of overs here. That doesn't mean I'm winning. If you guys got some suggestions for me, throw them in there. All right, let me see what we got here. Guess you guys didn't get help from the refs like last game with all those free throws. That's Young Master 626. Young Master 626. First off, appreciate you being on the chat. I'm assuming what you're talking about, Lakers shot a ton more free throws than the Golden State Warriors in that last game. So maybe I'm also assuming that you could be a Warrior fan, Clipper fan, whoever it is, doesn't matter. But I will tell you this. Lakers shoot number 1 free throws in the NBA. Golden State Warriors shoot last. Warriors live on the – the Warriors took 50-something threes 58, 50, whatever it was. So they didn't get to the free throw lines because they're not taking the ball to the basket. Lakers do a lot of damage around the basket. Anthony Davis takes the ball to the hoop. LeBron takes the ball to the hoop. Austin Reeves usually gets some free throws. What Lakers shoot from the free throw line? 16 of 26. That's awful, by the way. 61.5%. And the Rockets were 19 of 25. Sometimes it's not always. I know it may look, oh my God, this team took that many more free throws than the other. I thought the Toronto game was actually fair for their head coach to complain. I did think Lakers got a lot more foul calls, but I don't think it's a good example using that Warriors game because the Warriors game, they shoot threes. That's what they do. They never take the ball to the basket. Let's see what else we got here. Bron running people over for 20 years plus now. Yeah, but that's not dirty basketball. Bron running over somebody is not dirty basketball. I'm assuming here what you're talking about is Dillon Brooks. Dillon Brooks is just a dirty player. That's what he is. He's a dirty player. And listen, I'm going to keep going back to what I said. I like Dillon Brooks as a player. I think Dillon Brooks is a good – when they in the offseason went and signed him, what did they sign for? 80-plus million, whatever it was. I was like, that's a good signing for the Houston Rockets. Maybe they overpaid a little bit, but you know what? This is what you got to have. This is what you have to do. I liked the signing. By the Houston Rockets. You're creating a certain kind of culture. Ime Udoka is a perfect type of a fit there of an identity they're trying to create. However, he's still a dirty player. And that could be said. Stop the cap sleeve while Curry drives the lane constantly. Okay. Steph Curry does get to the basket. Steph Curry's not trying to draw contact. You saw what Steph Curry was doing to Anthony Davis. He got to the basket. You know how many threes Steph Curry took? He took – how many threes did Steph took? 22? 22 three-pointers? You're going to compare that to Anthony Davis and LeBron James? Please. Stop it now. Stop it now. I do like people using the word fugazi. You guys know that's one of my favorite words to use is fugazi. Okay. Lakers-Hawks tomorrow. I'm going to spend a quick couple of minutes here talking about Lakers against the Hawks and then some of the DeJounte Murray stuff that's still going on, and will the Lakers make a move? Will they not make a move? We'll have to wait and see here. Hawks are 19-27. You know what that means? Not that good of a team. They're not. You know what it also means? They could 1,000% beat the Lakers tomorrow, especially second of a back-to-back. Lakers flying from Houston to Atlanta. And Lakers are just, listen, can we stop kidding ourselves? They're average at best. This is what they are. And, we'll see what eventually happens with the Lake Show, but average at best is the best way to describe the Lakers. 24-24. Atlanta, 11th place in the Eastern Conference. I actually think, believe it or not, I think Lakers are going to win tomorrow. Now, it depends. Are AD and Bron playing? Obviously, that determines a lot. But I see the Lakers responding. I see the Lakers. This is just who the Lakers are. They'll come out and play with some fight tomorrow, and it's, we got to go get this game, and all of a sudden they're going to rally the troops and go find a way to win that game. But looking at the Atlanta Hawks, and I think in their last game, Hawks won their last game. Who'd they beat? It was Toronto. That's right. It was Toronto. I'm curious to see this because this is going to be the conversation that comes with the Lakers. DeJounte Murray didn't play in the last game. Last game they played against the Toronto Raptors. And listen, we know who the stars are for Atlanta. Trae Young is going to put up his 27 and 10 a game, whatever he averages. Well, I know the 27 for sure, but I think he's close to 11 assists. That's going to happen, period. What is everybody else going to do? They're scorers. That's what this team, they're 100%. That is this team. They're going to try to beat you because offensively they're a really good team. So I look at it this way. This is kind of how the Lakers are. They're 135-119. They lose to the Rockets, and they probably bounce back tomorrow and have a good game. And they come out determined. We'll see what happens. I think the bigger storyline is going to be the DeJounte Murray stuff. So I think you guys saw this yesterday. Mark Stein had put up that it's probably unrealistic for the Lakers. I'll read the exact quote. This was a big news yesterday. I'm trying to watch a couple NFL games. I'll make Mark Stein. Not right now, please. Please, not right now. Can you wait till Monday? Trade talks tend to be fluid in this time of the year and can be easily sparked up again. But one source briefed on the talks termed the idea of Murray landing with the Lakers before the deadline as of this Sunday as unrealistic. So obviously, if that's going to be D'Angelo Russell, it's going to be another player. It sounds like this potential trade. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't really believe too much in it because I don't think there's much to believe. You still have 10 more days before the NBA trade deadline, and teams are going to posture and teams are going to pretend this, they're going to pretend that. That's natural for stuff like that to happen in the NBA, and it's natural for stuff like that to happen between two teams. If we were the day before the trade deadline, I still probably wouldn't believe the news until the news is done. I'm not telling you that Mark Stein's not right on what he's reporting. What I'm telling you is that there's 10 days left. Teams are going to try to get the upper hand. They're going to say, no, I'm not that interested. Or maybe D'Angelo Russell's play gives the Lakers, they emboldens them to say, no, we don't have to make a move. We could just stay with D'Angelo Russell, and they might be honest about that. But we'll have to wait and see. Okay. See what we got here. Some people saying if Lakers lose tomorrow, Ham will be fired. Ham will not be fired. Unless something colossal happens, he's not going to be fired. He's going to play he'll be the coach all year. Roster just not good enough, plain and simple. Let's see what else we got here. Somebody's saying they don't like ham sandwiches anymore because of Darvin Ham. Whatever floats your boat. You know what I mean? Whatever floats your boat. All right, let me read. It's interesting. Gray Fox. More often than not, the opposing team has a better head coach than the Lakers every game. Guys, I see the comments on here about Darvin Ham, and I don't necessarily disagree. I'm going to use tonight as an example. Tonight, I was ticked off with Darvin Ham because LeBron was playing 37 minutes. And I don't know why. I don't know the reason of him playing 37 minutes. I think there's a lot of times Darvin Ham, when it comes to making adjustments, is slow to make adjustments. Does not make adjustments in time. They might come out with a game plan. Hey, this is our game plan. But where's plan B, C, D, E, F, and go down the list of other coaches that it feels like if they're in a predicament, they're going to find a way to get out of that predicament. I don't think that happens all the time with the Lakers too. So I get it. There's some frustration with Darvin Ham. I understand it, and I think some of that is fair. Tonight, for me, that frustration was incredibly fair. Why? Because I don't understand why LeBron James playing in that game 38 minutes, or he ended up playing 37 minutes, and you got a game coming up tomorrow. So. But that conversation, anytime you guys look at these comments, there's going to be a lot of comments that focus just specifically on Darvin Ham. I know that happens a lot. Okay, let me read a couple more of these, and we're going to call it a night. David Sabatini, great interview, John Contreras, some of your best work. Okay, all right. Let me stop here real quick on John Contreras. I wanted to read this for a quick second. So if you guys got a chance to go back as I'm doing this Hoops Talk Weekly, and I'm doing my best to go out there and try to get an interview of somebody that I find interesting, somebody that I've known for a long time, somebody that I know will have some insight on Lakers basketball. If you guys ever got any suggestions of who you guys would like to see me reach out to try to get on the show, send them to me. You could send them to me here. You could tweet them at me. You can hit me up on my email, allenslewa@gmail.com. If anybody has any ideas, send it to me. I like, and I think it's going to be a wide array of some of the types of interviews that I'm going after. Some of them will just be straight Laker talk, and others I might have a conversations that's just interesting that I feel like a Laker fan would be interested in. So I think they'll be a little bit all over the place when it comes to that. But I'll try to do that once a week, make it happen there, and go from there. Okay, Lake fans, that's all I got. Lakers ran by the Rockets 135 to 119. I'll be back tomorrow. Got my radio show in the morning. I'll do a post-game show as well. Lakers after they take on the Atlanta Hawks. I'll do that as well. So I appreciate you guys being a part of the show. No bourbon tonight. We can't drink bourbon on a Monday. You can. I just can't. I like Vince. Appreciate it. Have a good rest of your night. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow.